A very good morning and welcome to one and all to the session 1 of day 5 online FDP on data sciences. Myself, Lakshmi Pranita, Assistant Professor, Department of IT, Gudlavalleru Engineering College. I took this privilege to introduce today's guest who is going to speak on business analytics. Dr. K. Sahu Chhatrapati, Professor and HOD, Department of CSC, JNUH College of Engineering. He is having 20 years of teaching experience, a member of ISTE, CSI, IEEE. He is the session chair for one of the IEEE international conferences. He has published around 50 research papers in reputed national and international journals and delivered around 50 expert talks or guest lectures. Last but not the least, he acted as a convener for 10 national level workshops. Once again, a hearty welcome to you, sir, and please continue the session.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Lakshmi Pranita garu. Am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Screen is also visible, sir. Please continue, sir.
Madam, is it?
It's visible, sir. Screen is visible, sir. And audio also clear, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Dear participants and faculty members, very good morning to you all. Today, I am going to discuss about the business analytics. We have come across so many topics in these 3 days. Okay, my presentation, my discussion mainly concentrate on contents. What is business analytics and business intelligence, importance, applications of business analytics, evaluation of business analytics process, various types of business analytics, data for business analytics, relation between business analytics and ODMP, organizational decision making process, and also briefly I am going to discuss about how it works and conclude my session. Okay. First, we will see what is business analytics. Business analytics is the process by which business use statistical methods and technologies for analyzing historical data in order to gain new insight and improve strategic decision making. So it should be, the improvement should be there and there should be strategic decision making. Okay, we can also consider the business analytics a data management solution. Business intelligence subset refers to the use of methodologies such as data mining, predictive analytics, and statistical analysis in order to analyze and transform data into useful information, identify and anticipate trends, outcomes, and ultimately make smarter and data-driven business decisions. So as far as the business analytics is concerned, okay, the ultimate what the end user is expecting from business analytics is the smarter and data-driven business decision should be there. Okay. Now we will see business analytics and business intelligence. I have derived a few characteristics: business performance planning role, focus of storing and maintaining data, the required focus of improving business value and performance. As far as the business analytics is concerned, what is happening now, what will be happening, and what is the best strategy to deal with it. So this is about the business analytics, whereas in business intelligence, what is happening now and what have we done in the past to deal with. Okay, So business analytics can be defined as a process of beginning with business related data collection and consisting of sequential application of descriptive, predictive, perspective, major analytic components, the outcome of which supports and demonstrates the business decision making and organizational performance. Okay. Uh, so another characteristics focus of storing and maintaining data. So here the storing and maintaining data is not a part of business analytics, whereas business intelligence it will. Okay. Required focus of improving business value and performance. Yes, it's there in business analytics and it's no in business intelligence. So this is about the business analytics. Business analytics and business intelligence. Okay, business intelligence can be defined as set of process technologies that convert data into meaningful and useful information for business purposes. BI is focused on querying and reporting, but it can include reported information from a BA analysis. So, okay, business intelligence seeks answers questions such as what is happening now and where, and also what business actions are needed based on the prior experience. Whereas business analytics, okay, unlike the BI, can answer questions like why something is happening, what new trends may exist, what will happen next, and what is the best course for the future. So this is the part of business analytics. Okay, what is the best course of the future? Now we'll see the importance of business analytics. Organizations employ business analytics so they can make data-driven decisions. Okay, so why organizations employ the business analytics is in order to make data-driven decisions. Business analytics gives business an excellent overview and insight on how companies can become more efficient, and these insights will enable such business optimize and automate their process. Okay. And also the business analytics offers adequate support and coverage for business who are looking to make the right proactive decisions. Okay. So in order to take the proactive decisions and the right decisions, so business analytics will help. That is one of the important things as far as the business analytics is concerned. One of the apparent importance of business analytics is the fact that it helps to gain essential business insight. It does this by presenting the right data to work with. So while we are working, okay, the right data should be there. And another importance is efficiency is one area of business analytics helps any organization to achieve immediately. Okay. Since its inception, business analytics have played a key role in helping business improve the efficiency. So by using the business analytics, the organizations are going to improve their efficiency. The business analytics help organizations to reduce risk by helping them make the right decisions based on available data such as customer preferences, trends, and so on. It can help business to curtail short and long-term risks also. Applications of, we'll see the next is applications of business analytics. So here I mentioned certain applications: management of customer relationships, financial marketing activities, SCM, supply chain management, human resource planning, pricing decisions, support team, game strategies. Business analytics has a wide range of applications like all these uh, applications. Companies these days have a large amount of financial data. Use of intelligent business analytics tools can help use this data to determine the product price. So in order to determine the product price, the analytics will help. Business analytics is used to gauge the effectiveness and impact of marketing strategy on the customers. So data can be used to build loyal customers by giving them exactly what they want as per the specification. This is the very important. Okay, so as far as the specification is concerned, the end user going to expect something. Okay, so accordingly, business analytics should work. So we'll see the evaluation of business analytics. Business analytics. Okay. So analytics can be split into 4 categories. So one is descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, perspective analytics. Okay, descriptive analytics. So the job is showing what is actually happening based on given data, often usually via dashboards, also reporting tools like that. Okay. As far as the diagnostic analytics, why did it happen? Analyzing the past performance to determine not only what happened, but why it happened. Why it happened. Okay. And coming to the predictive analytics, what could happen? Describing what scenarios are likely to occur, often in predictive forecast. And coming to the 4th category, that is uh, prescriptive analytics. What should we do? How can we make it analytics? Making suggestions about what should be done and the basis. Okay, so business analytics has been existing since very long time and has evolved with availability of newer and better technologies. Even business, if you see the fruit vendor, okay, if you observe the fruit vendor usually where he kept his auto rickshaw or cycle rickshaw. So he is not concentrating on the slums, whereas he concentrate on some urban areas, especially urban areas. So where the foods will have the more sales. If he concentrate on the sorry slums, so his business doesn't gain much profit. Okay, so that's why business analytics has been existing since very long time. Okay, not only the big organizations, even small organizations also will follow the strategies, follow the strategies in order to improve their business in the sense business is the first, the fundamental primary goal of the business is for the profit. Okay, profit is okay. They are going to follow the ethics also. They should follow the ethics in order to gain the profit. Okay, so this is the evaluation of BA. We can see descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and perspective analytics. So we'll see the business analytics process. Business analytics process. So there are the complete business analytic process involves the three major component steps applied sequentially to the source data and as seen in the figure. Okay. The outcome of the business analytic process must relate to the business and seek to improve the business performance in some way. So one is descriptive analysis, predictive analysis, perspective analysis. Okay. So in the descriptive analysis, what happened? So this is the business database or data set. Okay. Business computer and cloud storage, business reports. Altogether, will descriptive analysis will take the input and find the possible business related opportunities. In the case of predictive analysis, predictive analytic analysis predict opportunities in which the firm can take advantage. Okay, so here in the predictive analytics, what's happening, why is happening, and what will happen, all these things will. Okay, the logic of business analytics process is initially based on the questions: what valuable or problem solving information is locked up in the source of data that an organization has available. At each of three steps that make up the BA process, additional questions need to be answered as shown in the figure. Additional questions also. Okay. So in this step 1 descriptive analytics, and step 2 predictive analytics, and step 3 perspective analytics. In the step 1, some patterns or variables of business behavior should be identified, presenting targets of business opportunities and possible future trend behavior. Okay. Okay. Next, we'll see the scope of business analytics. Scope of the business analytics. Okay. The descriptive analytics, as I mentioned in the previous slide, 3 steps. Okay. Descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, and prospective analytics. The descriptive analytics uses data to understand the past and present, whereas in the predictive analytics analyze the past performance only, predictions in order based on the past history. The analytics will going to analyze the past performance, and it will give the predictions. Okay, perspective analytics uses optimization techniques. Okay. So in the descriptive analytics, the most basic analytics is descriptive analytics. Okay, which answers the questions of what happened in the past with a given data set. Okay. Almost every organization uses this type of analytics, which involves arithmetic operations, mean, median, max, percentage, etc. Okay. It also gives the organizations helpful insights about actions in the past, yet causes of the problem may not be provided by descriptive analytics. Okay. So coming to the second step, predictive analytics. Okay. So at this in this predictive analytics, organizations get insight about the possible results of their actions. Okay. So predictive analytics answer the questions of what is going to happen in the future with the data programming tools. We have so many data programming tools such as R, Python, IBM, okay, IBM SPSS or RapidMiner. Okay. So predictive analytics provides and validates the predictive models by using the machine learning algorithms also. So predictive analytics use the machine learning algorithms like random forest or whatever the machine learning algorithms. Okay, okay. It expects the future will reflect a pattern similar to the preceding data. That is the okay. So in the predictive, as far as the predictive analytics is concerned, organizations usually consult the data scientists and machine learning experts to handle the data for predictive analytics. Predictive analytics. Okay. And third step is perspective analytics, which uses optimization techniques. The analytics try to find out what action to take or how to take advantage of future opportunities with a given data set. So in the perspective analytics is not a fail-proof, even though it uses advanced machine learning algorithms and business guidelines to analyze the possible decisions and potential influence of those decisions. Success of prescribed analytics is highly dependent on how well your model includes external data besides your organization in internal data set. Okay, so this is okay. We'll continue the scope of business analytics. Some example related to retail markdown decisions. Okay. Consider retail markdown decisions of when to reduce the price and by how much. Okay. So when to reduce the price and how much. Okay. Descriptive analytics examines the historical data for similar products. Okay, like the prices, units sold, advertising. So all these things will historical data will be considered. Okay, whereas predictive analytics will predict sales based on the price. Okay, so descriptive analytics examines historical data for similar products. Okay, and whereas predictive analytics predict the sales based on the price. Based on the price. In coming to in this example, in coming to the perspective analytics, okay, we'll find the best set of pricing and advertising to maximize the sales revenue. Okay, so it will find the best sets of pricing and advertising to maximize the sales revenue. Okay, this is a simple example where the retail markdown decisions, how it will. So coming to the descriptive analytic process, okay. Descriptive analytics such as reporting, OLAP dashboards, data visualization have been widely used for some time. Okay, so descriptive analytics process. So descriptive analytics is a commonly used form of data analysis whereby historical data is collected, organized, and then presented in a way that is easily understood. Okay. So descriptive analytics is focused only on what has already happened in a business, and unlike other methods of analysis, it is not used to draw inference or predictions from its findings. Descriptive analytics is rather a foundational starting, okay, the foundation starting point used to inform prepare data for further analysis. Okay. So descriptive analysis such as data visualization is important in helping users interpret the output. So descriptive analytics process. So in the process of descriptive analytics, okay, business metrics are going to be decided. The data required is going to be identified. The data is collected and prepared. The data is analyzed and the data is presented. So the business metrics are decided. Metrics are created that will effectively evaluate the performance against the business goals. Okay, so what are all the metrics? Okay, those metrics should be effectively evaluated for their business goals. The data required is identified. So data is sourced from repositories such as reports, so where we can get the data, repositories or reports and databases. Okay, and data, your data is collected and prepared. So data preparation, okay, data preparation, in the data preparation, duplications, transformations and cleansing the data for any noise in the data. For example, uh, before the analysis stage and is critical step to ensure the accuracy. Okay, data cleansing. Okay, and the data should be analyzed as far as the descriptive analytics process is concerned. Okay, clustering, pattern tracking, and regression analysis are used to find patterns in the data and measure the performance. And finally, data should be presented. The data presentation either in terms of the charts, graphs are used to present the findings in what the non-analytic experts can understand. Okay. So these are the certain steps as far as the descriptive analytics is concerned. We'll see next. We'll see the descriptive analytics advantages and limitations. So coming to the advantages, it can be easily be applied in day-to-day operations. Okay, and another advantage is quick and easy report on performance and gain insights. Okay, as far as the analytics is concerned, if the reporting is easy, we can see that analytic approach as the efficient. And coming to the limitation, it does not look beyond the surface of the data. Descriptive analytics just overall analysis only. It doesn't look beyond the surface of the data. And coming to the predictive analytics. Predictive decision models often incorporate uncertainty to help the managers analyze the risk. Okay. So predictive analytics, as its name implies, it focuses on predicting and understanding what could happen in future. Okay, with predictions. Analyzing past data patterns and trends by looking at historical data and customer insights can predict what might happen going forward. Also, doing so. So it informs many aspects of business, including setting realistic goals and also effective planning, managing. Okay. So it also in predictive analytics, major thing is it will avoid the risks. Okay, risk associated with the consequence of what actually happens. Okay, so predictive analytics will help to avoid the risk, and uncertainty is imperfect knowledge of what will happen in the future. And coming to the predictive analytics, as I mentioned in the previous slides, okay, predictive analytics can also improve many areas of business, including, okay. So predictive analytics algorithms for predictive analytics such as regression analysis, machine learning, neural networks also be, okay, and marketing is the target for many predictive analytics applications. So coming to the predictive analytics, okay, advantages and limitations. Okay, predictive analytics major advantage is efficiency in its customer service, fraud detection and prevention, risk reduction. As I mentioned in the previous slide, okay, we can avoid the risks. Limitation relies on the existence of the historical data and usually large amounts of it. Okay, these are the two limitations. And coming to the advantages: efficiency, customer service, fraud detection, and prevention risk reduction. And third one, perspective analytics. Perspective decisions models help decision makers identify the best solution. Okay, one is optimization, objective function, constraints, and optimal solution. So by definition, perspective analytic solution must rely on rules of the optimization. Rules of the optimization. So it's possible but less uncommon for perspective analytic solution to use both simultaneously. One approach is not always better than another. Rather, business leaders and analysts need to understand when to apply each type. Okay, whether one thing should be applied and second one is also applied. Okay, these decisions can be uh, known in the predictive perspective analytics. Okay, the perspective analytics market consists of two categories of algorithms. Okay, in the perspective analytics, two categories of algorithms are going to be uh, they exist. Okay, one, as we know, the one such algorithm is heuristic and heuristic algorithm. Okay, a heuristic algorithm do not guarantee the best answer, as we already know. What is the limitation of heuristic algorithm? Okay, it does not guarantee the best answer. If designed well, they can offer a shortcut approach to finding good answer in reasonable amount of time. But it may give the good answer in the reasonable amount of time. Exact algorithms guarantee the best answer, but we know. Okay. However, what is the disadvantage here? Difficult problems. Okay, difficult problems. That the time to solve for the best answer can increase exponentially. We can't get the answers in the expected time. Okay, especially if the problem is so big. Okay, the exact algorithms will take the exponential time. Exponential time. So. So by using the optimization, okay, heuristic or exact algorithms, it will give the predictive analytics will give the results. So coming to the benefits of perspective analytics. Okay, benefits: make real-time data-driven decisions. Okay, so here make in this the first benefit, predictive analytics streamlines the decision making, process by using a data-driven approach. Okay, so in this way, you can remain one step ahead of the completion and take advantages of new opportunities. Okay, that is the main advantage as far as the perspective analytics is concerned. Okay, and the second advantage, second benefit is solve issues that may be impending growth. Perspective analytics is also a way of solving the business problems. Okay, example, if your current pricing strategy is reducing sales using the machine learning algorithm. Nowadays machine learning is a um, um, trending, okay, trendy thing. Okay, by using the machine learning to measure many different market conditions to result in more effective price for your products. Okay, and this is a second benefit. Okay, and third benefit, coming to third benefit, create a highly customized user experience. Perspective analytics also allows you to develop a quality and customized experience for all customers. Okay, quality and customized experience. So businesses can use this approach. Okay, majority of the business can use this approach. Which approach? Customized quality and customized experience approach. Okay, because the perspective analytics, one of the advantage um, uh, which creates a highly customized user experience. So okay, businesses can use this approach to recommend the products. Okay, deliver timely discounts and provide website recommendations in real time. So most of the mm, e-commerce business based on the perspective analytics only. Okay, which has a highly customized user experience. Okay, if the user has um, um, convenient to do the business. Okay, most of the users that such a such a business can going to attract the more users. Okay, so coming to the data for business analytics, Okay, so database information. So various sources for the business analytics. Okay, uh, data can be collected from the facts and figures. And coming to the database, collection of computer files containing their data and data and information. One should know the difference. Hope you're all the academicians. Okay, you know the difference between the data and information. Okay, as far as the data business analytics is concerned, the size of the data of some data source can be unmanageable. Okay, complex data is going to get generally confusing. Sorting out data and trying to make sense of its informational value requires the applications of descriptive analytics. Okay, as we mentioned in the first step of the business analytics process. Okay, in order to organize the complex data. Okay, so why the data nowadays data is collecting from different sources. Okay, when an VIP person is entering from the abroad to India. Okay, in recent past 3 years back. from the developed country, the president has visited. Okay, so so many members came, and they collected so much of data. Okay, in order to analyze for the security reasons. Okay, so not only for that, in any nowadays data the data which we are going to receive, okay, from different sources, the volume of the data is very huge. Okay, that's why the big data has data science has an emerging. So why the data? So based on the data, by applying the different analytics approach, okay, so we are going to predict, okay, either for this for profit of the organization, or this for the safety and secure of the important person, okay, and safety and secure of the nation. So whatever it may be, okay, what it may be, data is very important, and nowadays it is unmanageable. Okay, okay, and confusing data also. So for such things, descriptive analytics going to help to analyze the uh, uh, analyze the data. Okay, incorporating some of the data into spreadsheets like Excel, and preparing the cross tabulations and contingency tables, a means of restricting the data into more manageable data structure. So nowadays what we receive, these most of the data is unstructured data only. Okay, the simple measures of central tendency and dispersion might be compared to try to capture the possible opportunities for business improvement. Okay, so other descriptive analytics, some summarization methods, including charting, plotting, and graphing, can help decision makers visualize the data to better understand content opportunities. Content opportunities. Okay, so analytics is such a uh, the important role as far as the business, good business is concerned, for decision making, for improving the efficiency. Okay, next we'll see data for business analytics. Data for business analytics. So data in business analytics. What are all the different types of data we receive for the analytics? We receive for the analytics. Okay. One such data is annual reports, accounting audits, financial profitability analysis, economic trends, marketing research, operations and management performance, human resource measurements, human resource measurements. So annual reports. Okay. So if an organization is there, annual report from different its departments, okay, branches, it will receive the annual reports. So those annual reports will help to do the betterment. Okay, based on the annual reports. Accounting in auditing. Uh, sorry. Financial profitability analysis. The financial profitability analysis also will help to improve their business. Economic trends. So how the economic trends, market value, okay, also will help the organization to improve their efficiency. Marketing research, as far as an organization or as far as the business is concerned, marketing research is very important. So simply without the marketing research knowledge, okay, without the marketing research component, okay, no business will excel in the contemporary world. Why? Because the marketing research will help us to how a business can be improved. Okay, so as far as the analytics is concerned, the marketing research component is also very essential. Okay, and next data is related to operations and management of the performance. In order to the performance of the operations, the performance of the management. Okay, human resource measurements. Okay, these data can be um, uh, uh, there as far as the business data is concerned. Business data is concerned. Next, coming to the data for business analytics. Data for business analytics. Data for business analytics. Okay. So here, let us consider in a simple example as presented here, the sales transaction database file. Okay, so you can see the sales transaction database file. Okay. The data is in the form of records, where each record is a field attribute. Each record is a field or attribute. This is a relational data organized as a table. So entities. This is a basic information how the data is stored in a database file as far as the sales transactions are concerned. Sales transactions are concerned. These are the record files and attributes. Okay. Next, we'll see data for business analytics. Data for business analytics. Okay. There are four types of data. Four types of data based on measurement scales. Okay. Four types of data and the measurement scales. Okay. Sorting out data and trying to make sense of its informational value requires the application of descriptive analytics as a first step in the business analytics process. Okay, one might begin simply by sorting the data into groups. Okay, so one might begin simply by sorting the data into groups by using the four possible classifications. Okay, as presented here. Four classifications. Okay, possible classifications. Categorical, also called as nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. Okay, these are the four types of data based on the measurement scale. Yes, based on the measurement scale. Okay. So, as I mentioned, the importance of business analytics is the continuous and iterative exploration of the past business performance. And another importance is gain insights into the past, predict the future, make data-driven decisions. Okay, make data-driven decisions. Okay, so business, as far as the business analytics, in order to know the business analytics, these are all which I covered. Once again, I'm repeating. Okay, as far as the business analytics is concerned, okay, we should know the contemporary things also: business analytics, business intelligence, data engineering, data science. So we business analytics, business intelligence, data engineering, all comes under the data science. Okay, business analytics comparison. So okay, how we are going to compare? Suppose if you take an apple, okay, if you take an apple, it can be compared in different orientations. Okay, how an apple, how it will look. Okay, so as far as the business is concerned, if you keep the business if you project the a product. Okay, suppose an apple is a product. How we are going to how we are going to how we are going to project the product. Okay, that is a important factor as far as the business analytics is concerned. Okay, comparisons. Okay, different types of projections will definitely has impact on the um, business. Okay, on the business. So here, as business analytics, and the business intelligence, we have seen, okay, and one should know about the data engineering also, okay, and data science. Okay. So data science is in my observation, data science, which is a super class. Okay, data engineering. Okay, and business intelligence and business analytics. As far as the analytics stage is descriptive, another one is predictive perspective. Okay, we can also see the, now we are seeing we have seen three steps. We have seen. Let us um, come 1 minute back to the previous slide. So here, descriptive analytic analysis, predictive analytic analysis, and perspective analytic analysis. So these are the three sequential steps. Outcome of these three is outcome of the entire business analytics analysis, measurable increase in business value and performances. Okay, and if we can also see the analytics stages as descriptive, exploratory, okay, and explanatory, predictive, perspective, and experimental also. In the experimental, how well will it work? Okay, okay. Actually, we have combinedly those 6 steps. We have combined into 3 steps. Okay, combined into 3 steps. Descriptive, exploratory, explanatory, predictive, perspective, and experimental. The experimental means how it will works. As well as the perspective, which we have completed just now. How do I take advantage as far as the perspective is? Predictive, what will happen? In predictive, what will happen? And in the explanatory, why did it happen? Exploratory, what is going on? And as far as the first step, descriptive, what happened. Okay. So these the 5 stages, we can also discuss the business analytics into 5 stages or 3 stages. Okay, in my presentation, I have combined these 6 steps into 5 steps, 3 steps, 3 steps. Okay. Okay, come back to our data for business analytics. Okay, let's see. Continue the presentation. Yes. Yes. Okay, data for business analytics. There are 4 types of data. Okay, based 4 types of data based on measurement scales. Okay, categorical data, also called as nominal data, ordinal data, and interval data, and ratio data. So we'll see one by one. Categorical data, also called as nominal data. Categorical data or nominal data. Okay, data that is grouped by one or more characteristics in categorical data. Categorical data usually involves the ordinal numbers counted or expressed as percentages. As percentages. So if you consider an example, So here categories bear no quantitative relationship to one another. Example, customers location, America, Europe, Asia. Okay, based on the location. Employee classification is different classification as far as the employee concerned. He may be either he may be manager, supervisor, or associate. Associate. Okay, as far as the product is concerned, okay, in the product market, categorized by two categories. Okay, high-end products or low-income products. Low-income products. Based on the dollar sales, it is common to use this term to apply the data sets that contain items, identify the categories as well as observations summarized in cross tabulation or contingency taking. Okay. So categories based on which as far as the customer location is concerned, which part of the world he belongs, which part of the world he belongs. Okay. As far as the employee is concerned, classification is based on the job role is going to classify. And as far as the product is concerned, okay, high-end product or low-income product. Okay, high-end product or low-income product. Okay, these are the categories. Okay, coming to the uh, coming to the uh, nominal data. Coming to the nominal data. Categorical or nominal, both are same. Nominal means uh, what is your gender. Okay. Okay, there are two options, either male or female. Did you enjoy the film? Okay, did you enjoy the film? Means either yes or no. Okay, nominal data. Okay, so nominal data. So example here we have seen, and uh, we'll, next is ordinal data. Ordinal data. Ordinal data. So ordinal data is the data that comprises of categories. Okay, data that is ranked or ordered to show the relational performance. Okay, ranked order. So categories can be ranked above or below each other. Okay, here as far as the ranking order is concerned, no fixed units of measurement. Okay, here as far as the college football ranking is concerned. Okay. So the ranking not based on the point score but on wins. Okay. So here football ranking is how many points one one group, how many one team has gained is not the number of points is not a matter as far as the ranking is concerned. Number of points is not, but as far as the ranking is concerned, how many wins a particular team. Okay, so ordinal data is ranked or ordered to show the um, relational performance. Relational performance. So a football team team has more points, but the as far as the ranking is concerned, how many wins a team uh, bats. Okay, and coming to the next one, ranking of a business firms based on the product quality. Okay, okay, so product quality, a ranking of the business firms based on the product quality. So as far as the product is concerned, either an organization or third party may conduct the survey, okay, so the response, whether it is a poor, average, good, excellent. Okay, um, uh, excellent. Yeah, so based on these information, the ranking of the business firm takes place. So this is an example of this is a model of an ordinal data. We'll see an example. We'll see an example. Okay, how satisfied we are with the level of service we have received. Okay, so there are certain attributes. Okay, we are very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, neutral, somewhat dissatisfied, very dissatisfied. Okay, so based on the information, so as I mentioned here, based on the survey, okay, based on the survey, the ranking will takes place. That is the the ordinal data, okay, and interval and ratio data, both interval and ratio data are examples of the scale data, okay. Examples of scale data is in numeric format, whether it's $50, $100, $100, $150, okay, $100, $150. Data that can be measured on continuous scale, okay. And another thing is distance between each can be observed and as a result measured. The data can be placed in the rank order. Ordinal data, but the constant differences between observations. Examples: time and temperature. If you see the time and temperature, so time moves along a continuous measure of seconds, minutes, and so on, and it is without a zero point of time. Okay. Temperature moves along a continuous measure of degrees, and it is without true zero. Okay. So data that is arranged along a scale where each value is equally distinct from other. It is ordinal data. So a temperature gauge, a survey instrument using a ordinal data, the ranking of firms might vary greatly from first place to second place, but in interval data, they would have to be rationally proportional. Okay. So as far as the ordinal data is concerned, the ranking of firms, in the ordinal data, the ranking of the firms may vary from first place to second place. But as in the interval data, they would have to be relationally proportional. Okay, that is the difference between the ordinal data and interval data. And next we'll see the ratio data. Ratio data measured on a continuous scale and does have a natural zero point. Okay, natural zero point. If you see the examples, monthly sales, delivery times, weight, and age. So the ratio of firms with green manufacturing programs is twice that of firms without such program. Green manufacturing, okay, manufacturing, which takes the essential steps as far as the um, quality is concerned. Quality is concerned. So that's what that we can call as green manufacturing. Green manufacturing, which should support the environment. Okay, and manufacturing should support should not create any problem for the environment. Okay, so that's what the green nowadays even as far as our computing is concerned, one should follow the ethics. Okay, ethics. Okay, ethics is very important either in the doing the business morally or in terms of the manufacturing also. If you follow certain rules and regulations of the government in order to safeguard our nature. Okay, so nature.